Today, guys, we are going over the top 10 fastest sports cars as of January 2024. I hope you go on to enjoy it, and let's kick it off with number 10 being the Sentinel Classic Widebody, which you could purchase for $1,350,000. It has a 127 mile per hour top speed, and it'll cost you $630,000 to max this vehicle out. It's one of my favorite classic cars in the game just because it looks so good stock. So even if you don't want to max the vehicle out, it'll still look pretty damn beautiful. But when it comes down to speed and performance, it's actually really great. Most classic vehicles in GTA 5 aren't really the best in my opinion. The only other one I truly love to race with is going to be the Turismo Classic. But for a sports car, this thing is still pretty damn great. At number 9, we have the Itali GTO, which you could purchase for $1,965,000 with a 127 mile per hour top speed, and it only costs you $392,000 to max this beautiful Ferrari out. When it comes to sports races in GTA 5, even though this may not be the fastest car out of all of the sports vehicles, it is still one of the best when it comes to overall performance. It's an absolute beast. You guys know, speed isn't the only thing that matters, but how you drive the car and how well the car handles, and this thing does it all. Number 8 is going to be the beautiful 10F Widebody, which you could purchase for $2,250,000, and yes, that does include the conversion cost to get it into the widebody version. It has a top speed of 128 miles per hour, and it'll cost you only $514,000 to max out. For a Benny's vehicle, honestly, that's not too bad. The car looks beautiful. We were all super hyped when it came out. Performance-wise, it's pretty great, and honestly, this is a hit out of the park for Rockstar when it comes to cars in GTA 5, because this thing is flawless. Next, we have the Comet S2 Cabrio, which you could purchase for $1,797,000 with a 129 mile per hour top speed, and it'll cost you $392,000 to max out. Now, personally, I like the regular Comet S2 a bit more. The Cabrio version doesn't have as many upgrades, but it's still a great car. It's still really fast, and if you're a fan of the drop top over the hard top, I mean, why not buy this thing? One thing that confuses me about this car is the fact that it's faster than the regular hardtop version. I'm not really sure why Rockstar did that, but for some reason they did. So, I mean, you get a faster car and it's pretty much the same, except it's a convertible. Just before we jump into the next vehicle, why don't you guys take a look at this video's sponsor. If you guys need any help in any of your favorite games like GTA 5, Fortnite, Forza, Call of Duty, and many, many more, be sure to check out Damnmodz down below in the description, and don't forget to use code Frolickz at checkout to get up to $100 off your order. Next up, we have the Comet D10, which you could purchase for $1,510,000 with a 130 mile per hour top speed, and it'll cost you $373,000 to max this thing out. The car itself is stunning. Rockstar did a great job at creating it. When it comes to the handling, it's not my favorite thing in the world, but that doesn't mean it's a bad car. It's just a little bit harder to handle around turns, but if you have experience racing and you're good at it, this thing is an absolute beast on the roads, and you will be able to pass so many people. The acceleration is phenomenal, and obviously that top speed is going to play a huge part for you in many, many races. When it comes down to it, it's a great car, it's super fast, you just got to be a good racer, and you should be good to go. Next, we have the Corita, which you could purchase for $1,795,000 with a 131 mile per hour top speed, and it'll cost about $401,000 to fully max this vehicle out. It just came out recently, it looks pretty damn great, and I believe it was actually free a while ago, so a lot of us might actually already have this vehicle. Don't take my word on that, though. I'm not 100% sure, but when it comes down to it, it's a pretty nice looking car. Obviously, the speed is phenomenal. When I was driving it around, it felt pretty damn great. Going around turns, acceleration was good, braking was good. You really don't have anything to say that's bad about this car. And of course, we are getting into some of the fastest sports cars in GTA Online right now. So obviously, if they're going to make it fast, they better make it handle pretty damn well too, even though I just crashed it in the video. Next, we have the Itali GTO Stinger T, which you could purchase for $2,380,000 with a 132 mile per hour top speed. But if you play on PS5 or Xbox Series X and you put HSW modifications on this thing, you can get a top speed of up to 168 miles per hour, making it one of the fastest vehicles on the streets in GTA 5. But obviously that will come with a price. If you wanted to fully upgrade that thing with HSW mods, it'll cost you $1,038,000. You guys are going to have to comment down below if you think that's worth it. You get a car that can almost go 170 miles per hour. There's no other vehicles that are going to be able to pass this thing on the streets unless they have a rocket boost. So when it comes down to this thing, yeah, it's a pretty decent looking car. Doesn't have a crazy amount of modifications, but I could say one thing for sure. it is fast as hell. Next, we have the Itali RSX, which you could purchase for $3,465,000 or unlock the trade price and get it for $2,598,000. It has a 135 mile per hour top speed, and it'll cost you about $400,000 to max this thing out. Now, obviously, the Stinger TT is faster with HSW mods, but in races, people can turn off vehicles that have HSW mods. So, if we're looking at normal vehicles now, this thing is super freaking fast. 135 miles per hour as a top speed is crazy. And of course, the handling on it is also phenomenal. You can compare it very well to the Itali GTO. And by the way, just a little heads up, if you actually drag race both of those vehicles, I believe they will end in a tie, at least at the airport runway, but if you got a little bit more track, this thing will literally be gone. It's super fast, looks beautiful, but it does come with a hefty price tag. Next, we have the Paro, which you could purchase for only $1,420,000. It has a 136 mile per hour top speed, and it'll cost you $352,000 to max out. Now, this is actually one of the fastest cars in GTA Online. If you take it on the drag strip at the airport and do a little race there, and if you launch this thing properly, it'll pretty much smoke any of the other vehicles in the game. And we all know that. This thing has been one of the fastest vehicles in the game since it came out, and it's still hard for other vehicles to beat it. Now, when it comes to performance, it's not the greatest in races, but I will say one thing, it is pretty damn fast. The fastest sports car in GTA Online is the ZR380, which you could purchase for $2,138,000 or unlock the trade price and get it for $1,608,000, which is pretty cheap. It has a top speed of 140 miles per hour, and if you wanted to fully max it out, prepare for your bank account to get drained because it'll cost you about $2.68 million, which is just crazy. But of course, it has a lot of other perks like laser turrets, rams on the sides, and freaking blades spinning around. And it also has nitrous and a boost. It's freaking crazy. It's a beast of a vehicle, and it is super, super fast. But if you don't want to include Arena War into this, the fastest vehicle in GTA Online in terms of the sports class category is going to be the Stinger TT with HSW mods. But if you don't include that, then the Pariah is still the reigning champion when it comes to just regular sports cars in GTA 5 in terms of top speed. Now, of course, like I said before, speed isn't the only thing that matters, so if you guys want to see a video on the best sports cars in GTA 5 to race with in terms of overall performance, let me know down below, and of course, I'll be making a few other videos about some of the other classes of cars in the near future, so stay tuned for that. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. I hope you went on to enjoy, and with that said, I will catch you guys in the next one.